All right, welcome back to our Tri-State Training Day podcast. I'm here with Stan the Man. This guy is a ball of energy and intelligence and wisdom, and he brings a lot to the table. He's very active in our business, and he's pushing out, helping 40 to 50 families a month personal. He's got a team helping 100 families a month. So he's a senior sales manager. I'm excited to have him on again because he's just really revolutionized some of the things that FFL Apex is doing, and we had to get him back on the podcast. So, Stan, how we doing, my brother?
Doing amazing, man. I appreciate you having me on here again.
I'm glad to have you on here again, dude. Love the shades, by the way. What's going on with those shades?
So Rob gave these to me yesterday after I closed the deal. It was a free little gift. He had got yesterday. They're the integrity glasses. We love integrity. So I put them on, and then this morning I got in here. Me and Rob, he was telling you we had a little competition going to see who could close more between me and him.
Huh?
So he showed up at 8 a.m., but I knew he's got 13 years of experience. I got in here at 7 a.m. and started on the floor to lead. So I popped one early, and I've had them on since. Can't take them off.
So you're swagging out with those shades on, and you lost the competition?
Yeah, I did. My man protected 5 families, and I'm telling you, an hour.
In an
1
hour.
3 separate families all together. It was a husband and wife on 2 of them, 5 families total in an hour. I've never seen anything like it.
Gee, yeah, he's
I don't even think he was quoting them. He was just
dude,
running through it.
he's that kind of guy. I mean,
Came in
I tell him pound for
eight to 10.
pound, he's one of the best I ever seen. Like,
And people
not,
don't even know it. He's been out of the game for so long, they don't even know.
I don't think he's.
Don't even see
Listen,
it.
I know. I watched it. I don't
Yeah.
forget legends.
From 8 to 10, from like 8 to 10 a.m., no one was picking up. He was getting told no. And the next thing you know, back to back, boom, 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 3 in a row.
Whose
20 minutes.
idea was it to have that contest? Yours or his?
He came at me yesterday.
Oh, he challenged you.
Yeah,
So
he got me though. It hurt.
so bad.
It was for bragging rights for a week, so I'm not gonna hear that.
And so the loser had to wear shades or had to look cooler.
No, so these are because I closed the deal. The loser, I got to take him to lunch when we hop off of here.
Oh, okay.
And I got to listen to him for a week straight, tell me he's better. So it was just for bragging rights.
I know you can't wait to challenge him again.
Oh, I'm back. I'm ready.
I feel you, bro. I like the attitude. I love your attitude, man. You're so contagious in the right kind of way, man. So it's great to have you back on. Let's chop it up a little bit. Talk to me a little bit about some of these lock-ins, bro. I feel like one night Rob called me, bragging profusely about how your team, him, will go into any city, turn up any office, and shut down any area and just dial and pound and close. And a lot of that confidence is coming from what you're doing. So can you kind of walk us through some of that and how you see that as a huge part of your business plan?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing was we wanted to get one going in Illinois, first of all, because that's where I'm from. So we set one up for Chicago after we had got back from Andrew Taylor's out there in Vegas. It was like me, Rob, and 6 of my agents went out there to Vegas, turned it up. We had a great time in Vegas, great time with Andrew Taylor, did a few podcasts out there, wrote a little bit of business. The biggest thing is we have this thing where we have to get a deal before noon. Have to.
Wow.
It's a requirement. It's a non-negotiable. We got to come in and get a deal before noon for one of 2 reasons. One, it takes the stress off the back end of the day, but 2, it gets everyone going, right? So especially on day 1, day 2 of a lock-in, you're going to have new agents around you. You're going to have agents that may not like being around a bunch of other people. They're uncomfortable giving their presentation in front of other people. So someone's got to step up and be a leader. And it's usually me or Rob, where before noon we'll pop one or 2, try to hopefully, and just kind of break the ice for them. Let them know like, hey, it doesn't matter who's around you. We're going to make this happen. And it's very possible. You got a new agent that comes in, and if I don't pop a deal before 4 or 5 p.m., they're sitting there for a whole day trying to figure out if it's even real yet. How are they going to have the confidence to go into a call and close the deal if they haven't seen it? They don't know, they don't believe in it. So you got to create that belief, and that starts first thing in the morning. You get in there and knock one out. And on top of that, I have my own personal goals, personal production goals, things like that, right? If I'm hosting one of these lock-ins, I'm trying to get these brand new agents started and going. I can't do that if I'm spending the entire day trying to close a deal on the phone. You get one or two deals out of the way before noon, that frees up my whole afternoon to give these people my undivided attention and get them going.
That makes a lot of sense. When you think about a lock-in, what is your personal goal? Do you have a goal per week, or I'm sorry, how long are your lock-ins typically? Let's start there.
With 3 days is kind of the sweet spot.
Got it.
Anything over 3 days, people get the energy starts to slow down. It's just like, all right, what are we doing? 3 days.
Got it. What in those 3 days, how many families is your goal to help in 3 days?
All depends on the number of agents. So I do 2 families per agent per day. So if we have 20 agents, we need to be doing 40 families a day. And that starts at the top. A brand new agent, am I expecting them to come in and protect 2 families 3 days in a row? Absolutely not. Which means someone at the top, people that have been with me, my leaders that I'm bringing with me to these lock-ins, right? I'm paying for their flights, I'm bringing them out, I'm paying for their Airbnbs and things like that. I expect them to lead, right? So they need to come in and do 3 or 4 a day, 3 days in a row.
Got it.
To pick up the slack from that lower end, but it gives the lower end the confidence to be able to do it at a high level.
I love it.
So yeah, if we come in with 10 people, we need 20 families a day. We should walk out of there with 60 families.
Love the algorithm. How did you get to those numbers?
I don't know. I have high expectations, honestly. I like seeing business being written. And I know for me, that was like when I was doing 20 families a month, my drop dead was 2 a day. Now it's like 3.5, 4 a day families that I got to protect, right? Whether that's all in one deal or a few deals, I got to do it to hit the goal that I want at the end of the month. So if I'm doing that, they should be able to do 50% of that. So that was kind of the math behind it, because I knew how I came in, what I was doing, the number of dials I was making to get 2 a day. So
very realistic approach. I like it. It also boosts numbers. It also creates a ton of confidence. Yes.
100%. Confidence is the biggest thing. You could be the best salesperson in the world. If you wake up tomorrow and don't lose your confidence, you're not closing the deal. You could be the worst. You walk in there with some big shoes, they're going to get filled.
What is that transfer of confidence? What has that done for your organization? What has that done for you?
A lot. I mean, it started with Rob, right? Day one on the Zoom. When I got recruited back in, I think I first hopped on the phone with Rob in February. I've talked about this before. Day one, he kept saying this thing called printing money. And I hadn't heard that before. But the whole Zoom, every like 5 minutes, he just shakes his head and goes, he leans back in his chair and goes, man, I just can't wait to get you printing money. And I was just like, the whole 2 months leading up to me actually getting licensed and starting, I just keep going, printing money. How? How is that possible? It's possible. It's real. It happens. So day one started with Rob, right? And Rob's a very passionate person.
Right.
So he laid it into me and made it known that I had to have that from the jump. I'll never forget one time, just like we're on a Zoom now, he hopped on to one. I was in the middle of a sales call. He hops on for 5 minutes. He only hears 5 minutes of it. And it wasn't a good 5 minutes. Maybe he made me a little nervous. Who knows? It was like my second month. And he just ripped me apart for 20 minutes. I don't think I ever gave that bad of a presentation again. So, but it starts, right? I'm 20 years old, for everyone that doesn't know. And it starts with other 20, 19-year-olds is kind of my warm market who I'm bringing in, seeing someone else their age do it, right? They see Rob do it. He's been in the business for 13 years. Great. Now they can sit there and say, oh, well, he's done it for 13 years. Oh, He's done this. He's done that. He's been with this company. He's called this lead, right? But they can't say that about me. I've been here for 6 months. I'm 20 years old. I had no experience doing this before. I didn't even know what life insurance was. So that's someone they can relate to. So I would feel like that's kind of how it transfers down the line.
No doubt. I can see that. And obviously, there's the lock-ins, which how many of those do you do a month?
Oh, one a month. We do one every month.
Okay. You pick the city, or is it always Dallas, or what?
It's different every time. We've been to, like I said, we were in Vegas 2 months ago, then Chicago last month. This month it'll probably be out here in Dallas. We just got a team house, so I think we're going to do a big one at the team house, get a bunch of people down here.
Very nice. So day to day, when you're in the office and do you work from the office or from your house?
Office every day. If you're not getting into an office, you're missing out.
No doubt. Explain that in today's day and age where people are just so excited to work from home, what does the office structure do for people that are trying to have the numbers you have?
I mean, you hit it on the head 5 minutes ago when you asked me about the transfer of confidence, right? And on top of that, at home, I can turn my camera off. I can go like this. Next thing you know, I can say that I'm working, but was I really working? You have no idea what I was doing,
Right.
right? If I got one of my agents in here next to me in the office, I'll just straight up tell him. He go, oh, I made 100, 200 dials already. Okay, that's fine. Let me see your call log.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I did. Yeah, let me see the
Right.
call log. Everything. And even like me, I'll catch myself slipping. I'll dial for 10, 20 minutes, and then next thing I know, I get a notification from Instagram, and I'll catch myself for 5 minutes scrolling on Instagram. But then I have Gian work out of my office, and I hear him. All of a sudden, he's in a presentation. I'm like, no, 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 Gian can't beat me today.
Huh.
So I'm right back in the phones, and that does a lot for you.
That's
And it's not
huge.
the same as the Zoom, right? The Zoom, if I'm unmuted, you can't hear the other person that's unmuted. Whereas like in an office, I can listen to every conversation going on without people interrupting each other. So for brand new agents, especially, if you have someone that can hear every pitch, it's not the funnest thing in the world getting told you suck or getting told that you need to fix things every time you're on the phone. It's like, at what point, just stop. Let me make one call and not criticize it. But it's so helpful, right? You want to make money, then you need to get to a point where you're good enough to make the money. And if you get told every time you're on the phone how to do something better, that means every phone call you're getting better, you're going to be a lot better in the long run. Get into an office every day. Show
Huge.
up.
So you're doing that every day. Let's talk about your schedule, and what time you start. What does your mornings look like? What does your afternoon looks like? Because look, you've been here 6 months. You're 20 years old. Obviously, you have a swag about you. But there's people that have been here 2 years and ain't putting up the numbers you're putting up. So what I'd like to do is from this podcast is transfer confidence from what you're doing, 6 months doing this, to someone else. So can you break down your weekly schedule, what time you start, the whole nine, so we can get an idea of how you are having the success you're having?
Yeah. I want to start by saying that there's a direct correlation with your schedule to your results. Last month, my numbers looked good, but I didn't feel the best and I didn't think I was performing as I should. My schedule was horrible. I was getting into the office at 8:30. I was leaving at 5, 6. I wasn't putting the full time in. Whereas like now I'm back on it like I was my first 4 months. 8 to 8 is a non-negotiable. I'm here before 8 a.m. And if I show up after 8 a.m., it's a problem. And throughout the whole 8 to 8, people are like, that's 12 hours of work. Well, listen, the phones are hot from 8 to 12. So then from 12 to 3, eat your lunch, go do your workout if you can't work out before work, which you should, go in the gym in the morning, and catch up on all your back office stuff, right? Do your recruiting. If you're not recruiting, you should be. There's people around you that can help with that. Catch up on all your emails. You need to check every one of your emails. You need to keep up to date on your book of business and everything like that and respond to clients during that time. And then from 3 to 8, I'm back on the phones, right? But it's bigger than just, oh, well, 8 to 8, I worked my 12 hours a day is what it is. There's also goals and expectations you have to hold yourself accountable to outside of your schedule. Like for me, I made a post on my Instagram last week. I was in here till 11:30 at night. And mind you, I do 40 families a month. You think I need to be in here till 11 o'clock at night?
Right.
Absolutely not, right? My bills are paid. I'm good. I've done a lot this month. I could have went home at 6, but I didn't because my personal expectations weren't met for myself, and I had to hold myself accountable. So I was in here dialing Hawaii leads until 11:30 at night.
Huh.
And the worst part about it is I didn't even make a sale. I got no showed on my 11 o'clock appointment, so I was here till 11:30 for no reason. But there's also a self accountability there. I beat myself that night, right?
Mm,
I won the battle against myself,
mm,
and that gives you all the confidence in the world, right? The only person that really takes confidence away from you is yourself. So if you can
mm.
start winning wars against yourself, that confidence won't leave.
Phew.
So today I talk about it. I was in here at 7 a.m. dialing Florida leads. Again, you think I needed to do that? Absolutely not. But I didn't want to lose, and I still lost. And it's going to drive me insane. So I'm going to come back tomorrow and win, and then win again the next day and win again the next day. Because if you win enough days, you win the week. You win enough weeks, you win the month, and so on and so forth. And it's very true. So your schedule can be whatever for your goals. But if you're not hitting your goals, then fix your schedule, make it longer, make it bigger. If you're the greatest in the world and you only want to do 100 families a month, and that means 4 hours a day of work, then your schedule is 4 hours a day, But if you've been here 2 years and you're not doing at least 25 families, I promise you it's no one's fault but your own. And there's things that you can fix to make it happen. You just have to be willing to do them, willing to work 15 hours a day, willing to work 60, 70, 80 hours a week, not a month, willing to drive 40 minutes to get into the office so that you can learn and get better.
What a great mindset. You said so many things that registered so well and have me smiling from ear to ear, to just, watch your passion and then see you deliver on it. It's not just talk. It's backed up by numbers, real ones. You know what you're saying about 11 o'clock and your 11 o'clock no-showed you, but you had to be accountable to yourself and you had to beat yourself. That is so powerful because it's just insane what you have to do here mentally to stay in the game. And those little things, like you said, the worst part about it is my client didn't show. But boy, are you a better agent, a better professional, a better business owner because you did that. So those losses, they don't really show up in the loss column. They move over to the win column because you won, right? It's like getting in at 7, dialing Florida leads. I lost. If you do it again tomorrow, you won. If you look at it as I came in at 7, I should have never did that. I dialed Florida. What a waste of my time. That's when you lose. When you say, so what? I'm gonna come back again and do it tomorrow, and I'm going to win. Those are W's.
Yes,
And
sir.
it's
At
like,
the start of the competition between Rob today, I sat out. I always dial from my office. I sat out in the common area today at a long table. Rob went into his office and I said, "No, come sit across from me." And he said, "Why? You wanna watch yourself lose?" And I was like, "Well, no, because if you sit across from me, even if I lose today, I still won. Because I'm gonna figure out how you beat me, and I'm gonna make sure it doesn't happen again. I'm gonna listen to every presentation you give if you're right here." So it's things like that. And the part that I left out is here's the difference between winners and losers. Losers only like to see themselves win. Winners like winning when other people are winning.
wow.
I stayed till 11:30 that night. I didn't make a sale. My agent packed up and was ready to leave at 8 o'clock. And he was like, "Stanley, where are you going? Why are you printing off leads?" And I said, "Oh, these are from Hawaii. I'm just starting. Let's get to work." He sat down. He got on the Integrity Lead Center, which we love. And he bought, I think they were like 75-cent Hawaii leads. And he stayed until 10. I think he was here till like 10:20, 10:30. And he closed a deal in Hawaii.
Wow.
So he protected 2 families that night off that one 75-cent lead, which everyone's too scared to dial because they think, oh, it's not good enough for them. It's good enough for you, especially if you're balling on a budget. We sit in here and run 75-cent $1 leads all day and make money off it. You can spend $3,000-4,000 a week on leads to write 40 families. I won't do that.
Right.
Shoot, I don't need to. Work on your sales skills. Get talented. Things change. You save money. Your ROI is way better. So yeah, I mean, I lost in the sales perspective. I won on a personal perspective, but I also won on a leadership and team perspective. I had an agent that's never stayed past 8 p.m. in here until 10:30 at night,
Wow.
and he made money. That's a win.
That's a big win. Dude, it's like you need to be recurring every 3 months on this podcast because you just bring so much heat. That's your perspective is incredible. Yes, he never stayed till 8. He's there till 10:30. He made 2 sales. It's a team win. He wins. It's a win. It's a win. Everybody won that night. That mindset is going to take you as far as you want to go, bro. So that's incredible, man. So when you think about leads, you're talking about 75-cent, $1 leads. Let's talk about it. How many leads are you typically buying? And what type of leads are you typically buying?
So right now, I actually just this past month got set up on Facebook running some ads. So I'm running ads for mortgage protection campaigns right now, and those are doing really good. But in our spare time, like I talk about him, Roston, he's the guy that just protected 15 families. He's 19 years old, his first month. Out of that, he got paid nicely, and he was very happy. It's the most money he's ever made in his life, but probably in a year as well. Like So he bought these historical leads. They're like age mortgage leads that are people that are 65 years and older, and they've been in the CRM for 2 years plus. They were $1 a piece. He bought 150 of them. In his first 20 leads, he closed 3 families. So that's $3 right there, where he had a great return on that. The 75-cent lead ones as well. Like, people, oh, I don't have money for leads. You got $100. That's 120 leads.
Huh.
And yeah, you might have to dial all 8 hours of the day to get one out of it, but you just turn that $100 into potentially, $750, $1,000. And now what you can do with that is buy better leads,
Right.
buy more leads,
Right.
pay your bills,
Huh.
right? You don't want to work to get the results you need. That's the issue, right? There's no difference between a 75-cent lead and a $27 lead. It's a name, first and last, a phone number, and potentially an address, maybe a beneficiary if you get lucky. That's it. What's the difference? It's a few months old, few years old. That means they wanted insurance at some point. Get on the phone and give it to them.
Right.
Get talented, get creative.
Wow.
Changes things.
Your segments are just every time you're done talking, I'm on the floor trying to pick myself back up. Um, that's incredible. And I think what you're saying is it's just work ethic. Like, what's the big deal?
Yeah. And let's be real. I make whatever I do, 40 families a month. Am I dialing the 75 cents leads all day? 100% not. But what I did do was buy them first, close the deal out of them to show them that it's possible. So now he can't come to me and complain about not having money for leads, nor can the next agent. Here's these. Here, I'll spend $100 out of my own pocket every day for an agent. That's nothing. Get them 100 leads. And if they can't close a deal out of it, flip the stack over and call them again, and you will. There's no way you make 400, 500 phone calls and don't get one.
Agree. Amen to that, brother. Well, you are absolutely crushing it. When you're looking at your team and bringing people on and trying to scale and grow, what are some things that you're seeing out there? What are you running into?
It's hard. I feel like we make it as a whole sound and seem a lot easier than it is. And it's definitely not something that's easy. And a lot of people get discouraged because they feel like they see other people do it easily. I'll be the first person to sit here and tell you guys, hey, it's not easy, but it's worth it. And it will be easy once you get the ball rolling. My biggest issue was I was bringing on agents. I didn't quite fully understand what to do with them or where to go with them. And I was trying my hardest, but I was also focused on all the wrong things, right? And then I had an agent that was dear to me kind of turn his back and go away and choose a different route and leave, and that hurt. And I stopped recruiting and stopped really working to build a team for about 3 weeks. And things, leveled out and we weren't growing anymore. Now I'm more excited than ever to start growing again because I understand my mistakes and where I went wrong. The biggest thing is just pour into them as you would like to be poured into, right? And constantly just keep bringing people in. Not everyone's built for this. Not everyone's going to succeed. That's a fact. But what you can do are control the variables. If you don't work long hours, your agents aren't going to work long hours. If you don't dial leads, your agents aren't going to want to dial leads, right? It's a simple concept. You have to show them that, hey, yes, I'm successful. Yes, I've done this. This is why. And it can't stop at some point, right? If you're new, I'm only 6 months in. I haven't even done this for a year. I can't say I'm tired yet. That's not possible. That's impossible, right? I can't stop dialing for 8 hours a day yet. I haven't deserved that, no matter how many families I protect. Because if I'm bringing on 20 agents a month, 15, 10 agents a month, they still have to see it. I can't just stop doing it and keep bringing on agents. Then those people aren't going to fail.
Right.
And that's not fair to them, right? When I came on, I wouldn't have wanted to come on to people that weren't working. That wouldn't have been fair to me.
Right.
So you have to put that same expectation out for yourself as you want to get out of them. I can't get mad at them for not dialing when I'm in my bed at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, just chilling. Or if I'm not out of bed by 8 a.m. in the office, I can't expect them to do that. That doesn't make sense.
Right.
Starts with you. And the biggest thing is you have to teach them to build a business like you're building the business. You got to create a foundation. When you build a house, you can't just throw a bunch of things on a house and expect it to stand. You got to build the concrete, pour the concrete on the floor first. Get 10 people that you're very passionate about, or 5 people that you're very passionate about, and pour into them. And if one's not making it, drop them and replace it. Get another one. Once that foundation's built, you're here. These 5 are below you. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to get 5, 5, 5, 5, and teach the same thing and build the same empire. And next thing you know, you got a team that's doing a month, a year from now, which, mark my words, no pun intended there, Mark. Just kidding. Mark my words. It's what did it say? November 2nd. November 2nd. We'll say by October 1st, because I don't need a full year. We'll be doing a month, right? I don't want to be another logo on a wall. That's pretty lame, right? How many teams do we have on here that we don't even know the name of? And they're fine with that. I'm not, right? You're going to know the name. You're going to know who I am and why I'm here and what I stand for and what I do. It's inevitable, as Thanos would say. It's like the snap of the fingers. It's going to happen. So I'm here for it. I'm not getting tired yet. I'm just getting started. I feel like I just woke up, if I'm being honest, right? Last month, I was a bum. I hated it. I never want to feel like that again. I got unmotivated. The second you stop believing in it, it disappears, right? We were going to do 500 in December. I had a bad month and was like, that's not possible. And then not only did that not become possible, 250 no longer became possible because I had just given up all around. Now we were probably going to do 150, 200, which should have never happened, but I stopped believing in it. The belief's back. And if that belief doesn't leave, everything's going to happen that you say it will. I believe a lot in what is that word? Not manifestation. I believe a lot in that. When you speak it, it comes true, right? I have this thing. I had a screenshot on my phone that I seen a few days ago. It came up on my Snapchat 1 year memories. Back in February, it was January 31st of this year. I had wrote out these notes. And when the job I was working at, one of my goals was leave that job. One of my goals was make 100,000 in a year. One of my goals was find a passion and find myself and capitalize on it. The other one was take a risk, start, quit being scared. I've done all 4 of those things this already, and I've never felt better. It's so weird that like a year ago, I was like, that's never going to happen. I was thinking to myself in April, because those of you that don't know, I started in May. I was thinking to myself in April, how am I going to make 100,000 this year? I'm at like 20. I'm going to finish the year at 50. Where am I going to get another 50 from? But I told myself that day it's funny. I think about these things now and it's just so crazy to me how real this stuff is. But I told myself that day, I was like, I don't know, but I'll figure it out. And then I woke up the next day and continued trying to figure it out. And did I figure it out the next day? No. Did I figure it out that month? Absolutely not. The next month, still no. My first month wasn't the biggest month ever. It still didn't have me on pace for 100K, but I knew it was going to happen. There's other people out there doing it. There's no way I can't do it.
Right.
Let's make it happen. I get fired up about these things. I love this stuff. I'm not allowed to curse? I'll say stuff. I love this stuff.
Stan the Man Smith, Training Day Podcast. Stan, thanks for sharing with a passion, the burning desire, and the winning mindset that you have. That it's fascinating to me, maybe because you're so likable. But watching what you're going to do, I already know. Like, I already know. So you brought a lot of value. I'm going to ask you one last question. What made you get discouraged and stop recruiting? And then what turned the light back on for you?
I feel like people are going to think I'm just saying this, but what turned the light back on for me was a week ago, that Hawaii night. This week has been one of the best weeks I've had in a while mentally. What discouraged me to begin with is I had a guy that I brought on and I poured into financially, mentally, physically, poured into. I wanted to make it happen for him for the wrong reasons. I don't know if I wanted to make it happen for him, for himself, but more so that I could say that I made it happen. And it didn't. You know, like I said, he went back to Illinois, he did his thing, and he's on a different path now. You know, best of luck to him, but that hurt me a lot. I felt like I had just got broken up by a girlfriend, right? I thought I had just lost my girl. And for me, I was in a point where I felt like I had hit a plateau, and I started to think to myself, like, how are these things that I said I was going to do going to be possible? And I stopped believing in them, and everything changed. I stopped making sales, which was weird. Like, how all of a sudden did I wake up one day and I can't close deals now? I stopped recruiting completely. I completely stopped posting on social medias. You know, usually I do a story, 2 stories, a post a day. Like you have to if you want to build a team. If you're not on social media, you're lacking. Get on there, post a day, repost. It doesn't even have to be a post that you made. Repost something, tag 3-4 people, ask them to repost it. Bring on agents, bring on people that you're trying to recruit, tag those people, tag your upline, your team, so that they can repost on their socials. It's a train of things. You're going to stop doing it after a week because you haven't seen any results, and it sucks because you were one post away from it happening.
Mm-hmm.
Keep posting, it'll work. But back on topic, I apologize. I just got to a point where I didn't think it was possible or believable for the goals I wanted to achieve. And I also knew that that person had left because of my leadership and I felt unqualified to lead. But then I realized that that wasn't the case. That was just the lesson that I had to learn to qualify me to lead. So more than ever, like I talk about, I'm very excited to start this again. I feel like I started fresh. I started over. We're going to do 40 families again this week, but my team is going to start growing, which I'm the most happiest about. I'm ready to start bringing new faces in and getting people going again. And I'm ready to start changing people's lives again, whether that's the families I'm protecting or the people I'm bringing on. So I have a new passion. I feel like I'm doing it for the right reasons now, right? I'm not doing it for myself anymore. I'm truly doing it for them. And I'm very excited about that and what I can pour into these people and give them. And I'm at a point now where, I'm going to end up where I'm going to end up in the future, regardless. There's no doubt in my mind. I sent a text to someone the other day. I said, failure equals death, and I'm not ready to die yet. So like, I'm not going to fail. I'm going to get there, but I'm ready to bring other people with me. I'm ready to get them to where they want to be as well. So I feel like if you have the right intentions, you have the right goals, you have the right things set up, and you have to lay those out for yourself. But if they're right in every box, things are going to explode for your business. You just can't have ill intentions behind what you're doing.
Dude, you're a killer, bro. I'm excited for you. Thanks for providing so much value today. Training day, baby. Stan Smith. Appreciate you, boss. Take care, guys.
Yeah, my man.
Thanks, bro.